Season 6 changed a lot of weapons and gadgets with nerfs and buffs. In this episode, we're going to go over them and rank them on a tier list. First, starting with the light class, and we're going to start with the specializations.
Specializations. Cloaking device. Post nerf, I no longer feel like it's S tier, but I also think it's still one of the strongest options. I think cloaking device and dash are both A, and then grappling hook is like B.
Notice throughout this episode, I will be switching from the tier list and then just some background gameplay, so just know this moving forward. Yeah, well, personally, grappling hook, for me, the only problem is the recharge time.
Yeah, it can't be used in combat.
Yeah.
And light is so fragile that I feel like a specialization that can be used in combat is honestly really important for it.
Mm-hmm.
So not having a dash to either get out of the way or cloaking device to be able to like easily reposition even in enclosed spaces. Grappling hook, just like the cost of opportunity is too high on grappling hook.
Yeah, and with Invis being nerfed, it's still good, and I feel like it's practically just like the same. Like evasive dash and Invis.
It really is.
Yeah. I feel like you both have equal opportunities.
Yeah, evasive dash and Invis both are just sort of completely up to preference. I feel like at the very, very highest level, evasive dash is better because people get really good at spotting Invis.
Mm-hmm.
But for 95% of people, or even for more than that, for like 98% of people, I would recommend Invis to a fresh light.
Mm-hmm.
93R. Same as it was Season 5. It's gotten buffed. Oh my god, unclick. Thank you. I feel like, honestly, it's A tier.
I feel like it's high A. If there's any other weapons, it'd be behind it.
Yeah, because, like, it's behind M11. It's behind XP. I think it's, like, right along with there with it. Now that the AR rate is buffed, I think it's right along with it.
Yeah. I feel like...
Dagger.
Dagger?
Keep going, sorry. Keep talking, you feel like...
No, yeah, I just feel like ARN, now that it's got buffed, it's kind of just like one of those weapons that are like fine to use, but it's probably, there's better options out there.
Like, no, but I feel like it's a good reserve for sure. But let's save that for the AR discussion. Dagger, this shit is niche.
Mm-hmm.
It can be really, really strong, but God, does it take you forever to get good enough at the dagger to make it a viable choice.
Although it did get its base attacks to get nerfed or get buffed this season. So
yeah, it's easier to use, but even with that, like it's still niche because it still does just require you to be nasty with it. I'm just gonna leave it at N for niche. LH1. Now that it's nerfed,
I'm gonna say
B?
Bottom, top C or bottom B.
I think it's the bottom of B, because it's still really good at doing its job.
Yeah, you can still get
it. Teams, it's still good, but I don't know, there's too many better options now.
M11, yeah, I would have to say S tier, carried me mostly through Season 4.
Now that it's gotten a range buff, it's really strong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, over the last season, I kept seeing tier lists that would put it at S, and I feel like it wasn't there last season, because for light to have to play that close is like weird.
That's why DB is such a trade-off, because if you do play DB, you can easily just get one pumped or comboed.
Yeah, it's really easy to get folded as a DB, but it also has a lot of high-level potential.
Yeah, and the M11 being so close. If you are probably like 10 meters, 15 meters away, your damage would be so low.
Yeah, and now at 15 meters, you're still doing good damage.
Mm-hmm.
Matter. It's better than the XP. I feel like it's worse than the 93R.
You have to be pretty good at, as long as you hit your shots. I feel like it would be.
Yeah. Do we want to place it in A or B tier? I'm trying to think of like what other things are gonna go in A tier, and does the matter compare to those things?
I feel like it'd be right. I feel like it'd be in front of LH1.
In front of LH1 and B tier? Yeah, for sure. Bow, niche.
Yeah, definitely niche.
A player can be incredible, but God, does it like it requires like learning the projectile, learning all of your combos, getting good at like hitting your shots, leading your shots, knowing when to go for headshots. It's good. It is also niche. I feel like both. Yeah, I feel like that's where it deserves to go.
Yeah, I tried it. Double barrel is probably the most OP and the worst gun at the same time. I'd say it's probably high A, maybe behind 93R because of range.
It's definitely behind 93R because it forces you to play in a really, really specific manner, and if you're good at that, then it can be incredible. But it's difficult for sure. And
the reason it's being so high is I think two-shotting practically any class.
Two-shotting any class, not practically any class. You can two-shot a heavy, you can two-shot a medium, you can one-shot a light even. Yeah,
it's literally... It can be broken, but at the same time you are a light running around. And
having to be really close.
Yeah, so if you're probably like, what, like 5 meters away?
It's like 3, because the spread on it is pretty bad.
So hope it's not a flamethrower heavy or like a sledge, or maybe hope it's not a Cerberus. And a good light can also just see you coming really far away. So
yeah, so long as if you can get into close enough range, not get spotted, and be able to play like in and out of sight lines around its reload time, it can be really strong. Getting to those situations can be rough. Sniper, C tier.
C, yeah. Even with the headshot, it does 236.
Yeah, it's good. It's at an awkward spot where it, especially now that melee weave got removed, like getting pushed as a sniper sucks because you're just not in a great spot. It can be strong if you hit your shots on it. It can be great, but situations where I would want a sniper over like an LH1 even, there's pretty few of them.
Yep. Sword would be...
the matter?
I want to say
or
niche.
A behind the double barrel. I feel like here's the thing. It's more intuitive than either the dagger or the bow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard to like learn it.
Yeah, it's not niche in that it's like, because niche is one of those things, it can be really good, you have to spend a lot of time learning it and adjusting to it. The sword doesn't require a lot of time learning and adjusting to it. If you watch like a good sword tutorial and you play like 20 hours of sword, you've gotten good enough at sword that it's a reasonable choice. Versus if you watch a good dagger tutorial and play like 50 hours of dagger, I'm not sure if I can trust you with a dagger. This is an exaggeration.
There's also...
realistically, like 5 hours with a sword and you're probably good, and like 20 hours with a dagger and maybe it's good. But
yeah, there's also exploits and stuff like Phantom Swing that you can do with it, which makes it a lot more.
Phantom Swing, gadget swinging. There's a lot of stuff that makes it better. I'm gonna say...
high A, or bottom A.
I'm gonna say bottom of A tier.
Yeah, I don't... Okay. There's some shredding lights. Beyond S, yeah, high B.
Top of B tier.
It used to be good, but then they nerfed the fire rate for no reason.
Well, it's because people were setting their like shoot to scroll wheel, and it was a bit ridiculous, but it's still really strong.
Yeah.
All right. SP45 S tier.
S in front of M11.
Yeah, it's a better gun than M11 for sure.
Like M11 close range does beat it out in DPS, but if you step like 2 meters back, the XP starts winning.
The XP starts winning really, really quickly, and it's also a gun that's really easy to create good situations with. So yeah, I would say S for sure. Throwing knives, they're niche or like C.
If you're really good with it, I mean 210 for a headshot, that's practically a sniper shot. So
it can also really hard counter mediums.
It's also a projectile like the bow. So
yeah,
I would say
niche.
Yeah, niche.
If you're
niche, but
if you're good at it, it can be incredibly strong. But
yeah, niche, but like it could be, honestly, it could be S if you hit your shots.
I don't think it could be S. I think it's at a weird spot where because it doesn't have the like time to kill compared to like any weapon up here.
That is true. I'd say it's in niche, but it could be like A. You could make it A based on skill.
They are in bottom of A tier?
Bottom, yeah, I would say that. I'd feel like it doesn't have that accuracy that like the XP or M11 does. Like it doesn't have that like beaming feel. But if you do hit some headshots, like it does the same damage as XP post nerf. It just fires slower. Or I mean post buff. It just fires a lot slower. So it's a lot more situational. Like if you have long range maps, because it has more range, maybe it would do well in Kyoto more than, let's say, Las Vegas.
Bernal too, I would say, because there's a lot of open fights in Bernal. So situationally good, but XP is sort of just better.
Mm-hmm.
Breach charge. What do we want to say for breach charge?
It's consistently gotten buffs to it. Like it got the faster activation, and then I think it got a faster throw time as well.
It did. It's good.
It's good. Honestly, I'd say Thermal Bore
has so many strong gadgets, though.
Yeah, I'd say Thermal Bore and Breach Charge are practically the same.
Yeah. But, I mean, Breach Charge, it's the same thing as C4. It lets you play, like, further away and still play for stall.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say B.
Yeah.
Flashbangs, niche.
Yep. Flashbang.
Good at flashes, they are the most annoying thing to play against in the world.
Yeah, it's not like Invis where if you have a good eye you can still see it. You literally can't see anything. But also the downside of using flashbangs is it's not like
flash your teammates.
Yeah, you can flash your teammates, so you can actually do worse with them.
Yeah, it can be like incredible, but also if I see somebody running flashbangs, I'm generally like, fuck, I'm gonna get blinded a couple times this game, this ain't gonna be good. And sometimes I'm proven wrong, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, these motherfuckers are walking into walls, like, always. And other times it's like, I can't see shit for half of these fights.
I want to give a shout out to Neon Guts. He uses the flashbangs anyway, where he puts a flash and then he puts a goo barrel, which...
Or just a grenade.
Goo,
combining flash and goo, because it blocks off your line of sight from it. Good combo. Gas. Nade.
C.
Like, it's strong, but there's it has better stall options. And...
Yeah, you can counter gas so easily. Random fire barrels, flamethrower, you can just demat it down or pull it away with winch.
Yeah. It's also cost of opportunity. There's so many good gadgets.
Mm-hmm. There's
Frag.
Frag?
Bottom of A.
Yeah, I'd say bottom A post nerf because it's just not that damage that you really want anymore.
Yeah. Gateway, S tier, single strongest gadget in the game.
Yeah, Gateway is like the defib of post nerf, like, or pre nerf, because that's like a required thing to have as a light. If you're not running Gateway, you're not getting those plugs. And every single plug counts, even after they reduce the amount of money you get.
It also lets you set tempo.
Yeah, it lets you get movement as a light, your only movement, and it honestly just helps. Honestly, it's a requirement.
Yeah, it's incredible. Glitchnade, I'm gonna also put it in S tier, but unlike Gateway, if you're not running it, it can be fun. You run it more if there's more mediums and heavies. But if it's a really high, like, if there's a lot of lights, then you don't necessarily want to run it. It got the fuse buff, which I like. It does feel nicer now. You're not, like, sitting there waiting for forever for your Glitchnade to go off, so it's good.
Yeah, I would say with the buff is also a blessing and a curse because you also can't throw it as far anymore.
True, but you can it's still, like, got quite a range on it.
Yeah, I would say S tier, but it honestly just depends on the team comps.
Depends on comps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say it's one of those things you have it on normally, but you change depending on what people are running.
Yeah, because as a light main, my rule is if there's at least like one or more heavies, shit. As a light main, I would say if there's like 2 or more heavies, I would keep it. If it's just 1 heavy, you can consider swapping like different thing, like a sonar or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Grenade. A tier. It's so versatile.
Yeah, it's honestly it's movement, it's protection, it's even like steal prevention.
Yeah, it can be used to stall. Grenade is like the single most versatile gadget in the game, and it does a ton of things pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
As a light, it's a very, very viable pick. Alright. Gravity Vortex.
I'd say low A.
Low A, it's better than Breach Charge.
Yeah.
It's a better stall tool than Breach Charge, because it's also manipulation.
Yeah, I just don't feel like if I do play it, it really does a whole lot to teams. It's because I first gotta place it down, then it has to activate, and then I gotta somehow catch people, and if people have, like, if they start stealing a cash out, sometimes they can even hold it while it's shaking the cash out. So it's not even, like, 100% reliable.
No, but, like, you don't put it... If you put it straight on, it's not as good. What you want to do is put it, like, on a wall close to it, so that it, like, yanks it to the side, so that it is a much more likely stop.
Mm-hmm. But it can also be countered with a simple glitch.
Yeah, it can be countered with a glitch, it can be broken. It's strong. Honestly, I think bottom would be, but it is better than Breach.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke Nade. Exclusively good when comboed with thermal.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I'd say...
you should not run smokes.
I'd honestly say B, because if, like, it's good, but if there's another light with thermal, you can only use it for in combat, and you can use it for stealing cash outs. But if you run out because they recharge so slow, you just don't have a gadget.
Yeah, I would put it above Breach. It's got a couple more uses. And when it is combined with thermal, if you have a team with no lights, if you're going against a team with no lights, an incredibly strong combo to go smoke thermal.
Mm-hmm.
Pyronade. D.
D, yeah.
Maybe C.
No,
it's worse than Gas Nade.
It's definitely worse because it does like somewhat less DPS than gas. You can use it to like scare people off of cash outs or get rid of gas, but to be honest,
but if somebody just sticks it, if you're just throwing it and then running, hoping that they're gonna back off, like they're not gonna back off necessarily, especially if they're better at the game.
Yeah,
versus gas almost always forces you to get off.
Yeah, I can
unless
see
you're like halfway through a steal.
I could see throwing it and shooting at them to do like more damage, but that's honestly just a waste of a gadget. There's so many other different things you could put on it.
Yeah, and even then, gas is just better at it. Throw it and then shoot at them. Like, smoke or pyro is a little bit harder to counter than gas, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, sonars.
Sonar's gonna be top A. Because it not only...
They're tricky, I don't know.
Because the thing is, compared to thermal vision, like, or tracking dart, it helps your team and yourself. Yeah. And it kind of lets you get, like, scope of what's going on.
Yeah,
if you see...
Go ahead, sorry.
If you see people, like, bunched up, you know they're about to, like, pull a dropout or something like that. So, sometimes you could even, like, predict what they're gonna do.
Yeah. It's definitely better than frag. Honestly, frag's worse than goo. Goo's better than frag, in my opinion. Stun gun is getting reworked. We don't know what the fuck's going on with it. Thermobore.
Thermobore is gonna have to be higher than... I want to say higher than breach charge, like one higher. But
I would say lower.
Lower? I think the range is a big plus of it, because you could literally knock down the crane in one fire.
That's true, but on the other hand, you can't, like... Breach has the ability to just play, like, really far away. You can set up your breaches, play 100 meters out, like, be annoying as hell from behind, and then when they finally start stealing, breach, stop that steal, and then push back in.
Yeah.
And you'll have and versus like thermal where you'd have to be in vision of the cash out, which can be tricky.
Yeah, I'll honestly say it's more preference.
Yeah,
because it's literally like the same gadget and
it is the same gadget. Yeah.
So I think it's honestly up to debate, but it's like so close to each other.
Thermal, A, better than frag.
Yes, I agree. I always use it because like there's honestly so there's so many benefits to using it, because first of all, it doesn't have to be a light, or it doesn't have to be a light using like invis or anything. It just helps you see enemies so much faster, which starts letting you get DPS so much faster.
Yeah. On the other hand, it does reduce your max vision, like through render distance.
Yeah.
But it's still really good.
Yeah, I'd say like if there's gas or smoke, which a lot of people do. Even like you don't even have to have a light that's running a smoke grenade. You could just have a light that puts down or just someone that puts down a smoke barrel, and it really just helps you see what's going on.
Yeah, tracking dart. C?
I'd say C. It got a little buff. It got like 3 seconds more, but you have to see them first in order to track them, and it's like.
And then the only point where that becomes useful is if they like go into a building immediately after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say C. It can be good, but I would rather see a light running sonar. Vanish bomb.
I'd say
top of B tier.
Yeah, top of B. Honestly, if you're using evasive dash, you shouldn't even
Don't use it stacked with invis. You should never consider it stacked with invis.
Yeah, 22 seconds is enough. If you need more than 22 seconds of invis, you're probably playing something. Yeah, you're probably playing poorly. And even if evasive dash, you don't always need it, because if you just play your angles correctly, you shouldn't really need to go in somewhere like undetected.
Yeah, it's still valuable, and being able to like cloak out and then rotate out a little bit where it's more difficult to see you in those moments can be really good. Damn, honestly, is it better than frag if you're running dash? Or grapple?
It could be. I mean, it's kind of worse than invis because it makes a super loud noise, so you know to expect an invis light somewhere.
That's true.
But just having like invis as well as movement could be useful to some players.
Alright, D-Mat. S tier.
Dematerializer is S tier. I think heal would be followed soon after.
Yeah, but I think it is A.
Yeah, I mean pre-nerf they made it heal a lot more slower, which kind of took away the whole thing. I mean, it's basically just natural healing is the speed.
Yeah, but it is good at playing for resets, and especially with how much we have like poke being strong right now, being able to like heal off of a poke before people push into you, pretty valuable. Turret, C. Or D.
I'd argue it's B.
Really?
Yeah, cause like honestly, if you ever run turret and you're fighting someone while the turret's also helping you, you melt them really fast.
That's true. It is like what, 5? No, it's like 10 more DPS or something like that.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not bad. It
it's
also
not,
pulled people's attention. Yeah, you're right. It's B.
Yeah, it's not absolutely terrible. I don't think the damage would be the problem. I think, in my opinion, from playing medium a lot, I think the angle could be increased. If it could see more.
That's a good idea. Make it detect easier.
Yeah, because the damage honestly is fine. Anything more would be super annoying.
Yeah. Cerberus, S tier. Strongest weapon on medium.
Yeah, I mean the extra, just passive damage afterwards is, good, because a lot of the damage is from the main blast, but there's a lot of fire damage that you think you survived and then you basically die from it.
Yeah. It's also just so strong in close quarters. Dual blades, niche.
Niche, yep.
Getting good at dual blades, like B. F car.
I'd say it's A.
A. FAMAS, also A.
I'd say
AK,
for Moss in front.
also A.
Moss in
For
front.
Moss, yeah. I think this is the order.
You,
Moss,
yeah.
then FCAR, then AK.
You wouldn't go wrong running any of these, but if from Moss, if you get those headshots as a light, I get melted by anyone.
Yeah, it's also just like this. It's also the easiest out of the 3 to run because its recoil is very, very easy. Hike behind the FCAR better than the AK.
I would say that 3 taps for light, and then 5, and then headshots are 75. So it's good. It used to be super good. It probably used to be S, but they brought it. I think they brought it down to B with the nerf, and then they raised it back up a little bit to A.
It was like C with the nerf. It was so bad with the nerf. Honestly, I would say D with the nerf. I would say high A. It's like interchangeably better than any of these guns and than any of the normal ARs, but it does also require higher accuracy. And it's tricky to use in short range. CL. B?
It's...
Or C?
It does over 100 damage, yeah.
I would say B.
I would say B, yeah, B, but it's like, honestly, if you're really good with it because it's projectile, it's a little hard to get used to. But you have to be super close now for you to even start damaging yourself. So honestly, yeah, it's not... Because as a light, I used to just run up to CL users and they'd explode themselves. But now I can't really do that anymore. So honestly, I think it's a pretty good place as if you're running like...
Yeah, it's in a good spot. It's like top of B, bottom of A, somewhere in there. But I don't feel comfortable saying it's as good as any of the ARs.
Yeah, yeah.
Revy.
Niche. I would say
niche
after using it for so long. There's some days where you literally think you're like you should just quit the game, and then some days you feel like you're cheating. So it's super inconsistent. But it does 148 for a headshot, which means it doesn't like lights are 1. So it's honestly
it can be really good in team fire scenarios. Being able to just crush somebody for 74 damage a shot does a lot.
Yeah.
It now does more damage per shot than like the SA, for example. But it's tricky. Riot Shield is niche.
Riot Shield's niche as well. Riot Shield actually could be, I think
at the highest level, Riot Shield over Dual Blades.
That's what I'm saying. To completely block out damage, Dual Blades does have the deflection, but it's the gun's hip fire, which means super far away does nothing.
Yeah, it also the Dual Blades beat it out on DPS. Dual Blades is really awkward against anything except mediums, and Riot Shield is not. You 2-tap lights, you 3-tap mediums, 90... You 4-tap heavies, right?
I'm not sure.
Or you can also swing melee mediums. But I would say, yeah, in general, I think Riot Shield is better than Dual Blades. For all that I love Dual Blades, and it is my personal, like, messing around weapon, it is not as good as the Riot Shield.
Mm-hmm.
The model. B?
Low B.
Worse than the CL?
Yeah, I'd say so. Because when they nerfed all the damage out of it, and then they just gave it a speed boost, so, I mean, technically...
You also just can't melee weave, which makes it really awkward.
The speed boost makes it a little bit more forgiving, but I still see very few in top, and I personally tried it out, and it's just, the range is not it.
The range is strong, but, like, I would rather, like, a Cerberus is better in about 90% of situations. Repeater.
I'd say...
Below the pike?
I'd say in front of the pike, just because of DPS.
Time to kill on mediums, unless it's headshots. And the pike has universally better time to kill on heavies.
Yeah, honestly, I'd say it's close competition, but I mean, it's 50 damage per shot.
Pike shoots so fast. It's a higher skill, higher reward version of the pike.
Yeah.
I think that's where we can leave it at. It's a higher skill, higher reward version of the pike. Because the hip fire isn't bad, but the pike sort of beats it out in hip fire because of how fast it shoots.
Some accounts you also have to take is there's more sights for the repeater, so it could be more comfortable to use.
True. Alright. Now we move on to gadgets.
And gadgets are... We could rank the universal gadgets as well, because each class actually depends on it.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, like, smoke on light better than smoke on medium.
Mm-hmm.
Defibs are A tier. They're still really good.
Yeah, I would say...
They're not a mandatory pick anymore. They're still really good.
Yeah, they're highly encouraged because you still get a revive without having to, like, while still also being able to play. But you get, like, a buff, you get half health. So...
You can flip fights with the defib, but when used incorrectly, it can just feel like giving somebody an extra death.
Mm-hmm.
So...
If you know you're gonna lose the fight, you probably shouldn't defib someone.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if it's a close fight, then you can turn a close fight into a winning fight really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Motion sensor, D.
D, honestly don't know. If there's something
specific situations, it can be useful.
Yeah. I don't understand what Embark could improve with it. I think just the idea of like a stationary motion sensor doesn't really sell well with medium.
Yeah. Pyronade also D. Better than the motion sensor though. Smoke nade also D. Worst out of the three.
Yeah, do you run smoke nade as a medium? You could run any like so much more better utilities.
Yeah. APS. A tier. With the buff.
A tier also depending on the weapons that people have been using.
Yeah, it's a really good reserve option. If you're playing against double heavy, use APS. If you're playing against medium and you know they're a light and you know they have nades or glitch nades and they're just gonna start chucking them at you, use APS. It's really strong so long as you know what your opponents are using. So I would say it's an incredible reserve. It's a mediocre like base use.
Mm-hmm.
The data reshaper. They nerfed this shit for no fucking reason. D tier. Best item in D tier though.
I have to agree.
It can be really good against teams if you know heavy's running barricade, if you know heavy's running lock bolt, if you know you're facing a lot of mines. I can still see arguments for keeping it in the reserve, but they nerfed it pointlessly. It was fine where it was at. Yes, it countered turret, but like that was sort of the point. Honestly, C tier. I gotta give it some respect. In the right situations, it can be really good at denying people's playstyle, but don't bring it in normally.
Mm-hmm.
Explosive mine.
Hey, I'm just looking back on my recording. I don't know what was going on with my hair this day. Just try to ignore it. I'd say B.
B, yeah, you're right.
Because they nerfed the first off, they nerfed the count, and then I'm pretty sure they nerfed the damage, if I'm correct.
Yeah, they did. They nerfed the count for sure, and I think they did nerf the damage. But it's still good. It can still turn around a 1v1 really quickly. And it can make it more forgiving, so that if somebody walks into your explosive mine, it doesn't matter if you miss a couple of shots as much. Flashbang. It's still niche on medium. Still, same thing for light. It can be really, really good if you are placing it correctly at the high, like a good flash player, making sure every person is blinded when they're pushing in.
Mm-hmm.
Can be horrendous, but playing with a bad flash player is just horrible. Frags. B, I feel like. Still strong. Still a good option. but cost of opportunity here really kicks it.
Yeah, I would say it's better than the mine because you could throw it, but it's
it can also be used to bait people into. You just underhanded, like, run around a corner. If they walk into it, then you can turn it around.
It could easily flip fights, but they did nerf it, like I said before, so...
Yeah, look, you need a nerf, though. I didn't like the nerf, but it did need something. Alright, gas nade. C.
Yeah, gas nade it's below explosive, it can stall, but like I said, for the gas grenade, it's easily counterable.
Yeah, and I would also say gas mine, just straight up a better version of the gas nade.
Yeah.
Gas mine, because you can use it to stall from below, can be really good, because you can place it like the floor beneath it and then shoot it to activate it, and then that'll cause gas like above it. So it can be a really good stall tool, even with the fact that it can be countered pretty easily, forcing people to like look for that. And Flamer isn't too popular, so it's good. And it doesn't require you to have direct line of sight. It can also be placed on trophies to make fibs less effective. Other stuff like that. Glitch mine. A, better than APS.
It's basically like an APS close range.
Yeah, but it also, like, because it has a greater range than it is meant to right now, it is still quite good. So, still strong. I would say Ghoul, also A tier. Interchangeable with Glitch Trap, both are really strong.
Yep.
Goo is more versatile. Glitch Trap does things really well. Pad and Zip, S tier.
Yeah, running double movement.
You have to run at least one, and double movement is still really good.
Yeah, it's crucial because it's such a support to your team as well, and also it's also increased your survivability. Because if you like a jump pad out of a bad fight, you could actually like maybe if you're trying to play for respawn, if your both teammates are dead, they could help you move out of the fight. Yeah,
it's so good. Counter padding for when like a heavy's jumping up on you. Zipline for overall movement. You should, as a medium, you should always be running at least one movement option. You don't necessarily have to run two, but it is really good.
I'd say
niche.
Yeah, Gugun's really niche.
A to S when used correctly.
You could stop people from moving. You can block out cash outs, instant cover, fast reload.
It's strong,
yeah,
sure, but you need to spend some time learning it.
I
would say A, honestly, comfortably. I can keep it out of niche. We can put it in A.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Charge and slam. B.
Yeah, B.
It's still good, but
Nerf was super good. Nerf actually put it in the right spot, but
Nerf put it in the right spot. It's still strong, but I don't know. Like, if I see a charge heavy, I'm not too worried. But that's part of that is I play winch, so I can counter charge really easily. But like just in general, it's not as strong anymore. Mesh, S tier.
S tier, yep. Instant cover, just like the goo gun.
Instant cover, but your teammates can shoot through it.
Yep.
Like it's incredible. When used correctly, it is right along up there with DMAT and the strongest gadget out there, and the strongest specialization out there. And then Winch I would put in A. Now with Winch reworked, making it so that it stuns for longer, but so that you don't cycle weapons with it, it's trickier now. It's still good.
Yeah, I mained Winch. Winch with Shaq. It got me to Diamond Season 5, but it's honestly just how you play it. You should.
I played Winch SA for all of Season 4, all of Season 5. I played Winch Sledge for a good bit of Season 3, but I wasn't playing Rank. That was just for World Tour. It's still really strong, but it's not quite as good now. For
Yeah,
all that it got a quote-unquote buff, it's not quite as good. Weapons. KS. A to B.
I would say, seeing some KS footage, I would say honestly it's A, because 100 damage per shot. If you have
No, I
anyone,
feel like no, because knowing what goes in A tier, it's not an S tier. It's not an A tier pick.
okay.
It's a little bit weaker than a lot of stuff, and it can be really strong. But the fact that you can't melee weave, the fact that you can't winch cancel, is honestly hurt it really bad. Even though it got the buff in its firing speed, like it's just flamer.
I'd say niche.
PC niche.
Niche.
I don't think it's niche.
It's
'Cause
not niche.
doesn't
It's easy to use.
be worse than the KS. It can be strong, but if somebody knows just to shoot back at you, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if you're not getting shot back at, it's great, but it's tricky. Deagles, B to low A. I'm gonna say B better than the KS.
My gripe with the Deagles is the headshot multiplier is really good with it. So
It is. It's incredible. The Deagles in the right hands are
yeah, it is a
some of the
B.
most
I
annoying
think.
things to play against.
Yeah, it's B just for the problem where it there's spread on it when you're shooting it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Minigun. B better than the KS, worse than the Deagles.
Yeah, I feel like it
It's-
could be used tactically with the right team comp, but for solo queuing and just like if there's any map with like a range longer than like 20 meters, it's no
For solo
damage.
queuing, it's D. It requires so much team play to make it work.
Yeah.
I would never play minigun solo queue. With a team, it can be good. It just also it's an incredible thing when people are pushing you. It allows for a lot of clutch situations, but if you're having to push into people, it can just not be great. CL4, the MGO, niche,
I'd say niche.
but I don't know. It's in a weird spot. It's like niche, like C tier, I would say. Alright, Lewis A tier, M60 A tier. I personally think the M60 is a bit better than Lewis. It's easier to play. It has better damage per mag. It allows you to one mag fights a lot. Whereas the Lewis, it allows you to get a kill easier, but it's not as good at like being a constant source of damage that people are having to worry about that the M60 is.
Yeah,
The
back
M60,
in
you can like shred shields and not have to worry about it as much.
all the way back in season 2, when the barricade had the head glitch, it actually was really good just because of the the mag. Like the enemy had to get behind you in order to just do any damage. But with the addition of sights, removing that ugly iron sight, it actually is pretty good now.
Yeah, I mean, it was strong even back in season 2. I ran it personally season 2 all the way to Diamond 2, Diamond 3. I think I crashed out the last day, but I want to say Diamond 2. I ran it all the way until Diamond 2. And it was still strong. But then it got its damage nerf, and then now it's gotten sights. It's good. It's good for sure. SA.
See,
It's still good. It's not S tier.
it used to be.
I would say A. Because you can no longer play Winch SA. If you're playing SA, you have to play Mesh. And playing Mesh SA requires team play. But it's still strong. I personally like the M60 more, but I like the SA more than the Lewis. Actually, no, I like the Lewis a little bit more than the SA. But in 3v3 scenarios, really good. And once you get really good at hitting your shots, it's really, really strong. So top A tier. I'll say top A tier. I'll put it below the M60. I would say in just straight up 3v3s, the SA is a bit better than the M60. So for final round, it's a bit better, but for ranked, for qualifying, the M60 is a bit better.
Yeah.
It's still really good though. Sledgehammer. I would A tier, niche.
Yeah, I would say niche.
With it can make it good.
In one shot, light, can combo medium.
They can combo light. Swing quick melee, combos light, and it's technically faster than a downswing, unless it's pre-charged. So niche. Shack, top A tier.
I'd say it's the S. In my opinion.
That's true. It is the closest. It is the. If I'm going to recommend a heavy player gun, it's gonna be Shack.
And new sights made it so much more accurate because of the visual recoil.
Because of the red dot, yeah, and the visual recoil. It's still really good. Spear, niche.
Niche. I think the best spear honestly could be like
how to gesture cancel, like how to play around barricades and other stuff.
It could be B or
it can be A. It can be
low A.
But it requires so much time to put in before it gets to that point. I would say it's just tricky. Grab cube.
I feel like it would be A.
Bottom of A?
Bottom of A, yeah.
It can be strong. You can deny people getting reses easily with it. You can, if you play around it, it can be really good. You know, I'm almost tempted to say niche, but it's a bit more intuitive than a niche item really is. Barricade, Dome Shield, C4. They are all S tier.
Yeah, I have to agree. The reason why some people might object that Grenade is up in the S tier, but the difference between Barricade and Grenade is Barricade is that instant cover, and not only that is you could pick it back up, so you really don't run out.
Yeah, you can pick it back up. It's instant cover. It's also like it's more health. You can shoot out a grenade pretty quickly, especially with critical points.
Yeah, it's more health.
Shoot out a barricade.
Yeah, it's more health and sections.
Some kind of explosive on it, unless you're a minigun heavy. So I would say S tier. Explosive mine, B. Maybe C.
I think C as a heavy running explosive.
As a heavy, yeah. C. Gas grenade, C. Maybe D, honestly. Cost of opportunity kicks it here.
Yep.
Frag, C. Again, cost of opportunity. There's so many strong choices on heavy that while frag is still pretty good, it's just not great. Flash. This is the first time I'm gonna keep Flash out of. No, I'm just keeping Flash in niche. Flash can combo really well with the goo gun.
Yeah, if you have like a sledge.
It can be strong, but God, does it take you forever to learn it. Goo gun or grenade, top of A tier.
Yep.
Pyronade, bottom of C tier. Proc sensor, bottom of D tier. Pyromine, A tier.
A tier, definitely.
You can stall so much with Pyromine. You can deny fibs. It is a definitely strong option. I would personally put it above Gumid. RPG, S tier. Smokes, D tier. Black bolts, S tier.
Yeah.
Heavy has so many incredible gadgets.
They keep on.
It's polarizing as hell.
They keep on nerfing RPG, but honestly, that instant accurate damage, like grenade, is like you gotta wait for it and time it.
Yeah.
RPG.
Instant accurate splash damage
Destruction.
Is destruction. Like, it's incredible. Lockbolt, it's cash out manipulation. It can lead to really easy kills. It like can prevent. It can sort of prevent steals if you lockbolt it up and then like mess around with the cash box while it's there. It can be good. It's just incredibly strong. C4, as strong as it's ever been. The ability to play drop is just incredible. It's just so good at doing that. And then we've talked about Dome Shield, Barricade. Dome Shield is just mech on a gadget. It's so strong. And Barricade is just instant cover. So that is the heavy tier list.
Anyways, guys, that is our tier list at this point in the season. And the reason why we're kicking out this video so early is because I know there's going to be many like changes, patch notes. As they said, I think they said every 3 weeks there's going to be patch notes. Taser might come in. So perhaps more in the middle to the end of the season, we will release another one. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed and maybe take this knowledge into your next game and hopefully use it well. Thank you.